Okay, another one of stupid things that Louie did as a recruit, as a street officer. I love working the street. At any rate, a lot of things I did provoked memos to the department not to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was on the sergeant's shit list because he.
This was in Palo Alto.
Palo Alto swing shift. And that's an easy detail, but it was a boring detail.
Yeah.
This detail was to go to San Mateo County. About a 20-minute drive to pick up a prisoner and bring him across the boundary to Santa Clara County, where Palo Alto was, and book him into Santa Clara County. It's called prisoner transport. So I got in the car. Of course, my buddy with me is Tony Hernandez. And Tony says, Louie, what are you doing? He says, I'm doing prisoner transport. And Tony says, oh man, God, I'll go with you. So Tony jumps in the car with me, and we're just buddies.
Yeah.
Got a cup of coffee on the way over, of course.
Yeah.
And then we went to San Mateo County, the prisoner. He was, I don't know what the warrant was, because this guy was just, some of it was, he had a whole list of charges, but they're all 647F, drunk in public.
Yeah.
And this guy was just drying out himself. And he was an old codger, strictly beard. So we put him in the back. And in those days, you handcuff people, but you didn't seatbelt or anything.
Yeah.
We go back to Palo Alto now, maybe at 5 o'clock, because we're killing a lot of time. The more time you kill, the fewer calls you got to take and write reports. So Tony and I are driving back. I think those are the days we were smoking, so we're smoking up a storm, and all of a sudden, beep, beep, Palo Alto units, armed robbery in progress, armed robbery in progress. University Avenue, First California Bank, last seen eastbound, University Avenue. We were approaching University Avenue from the Bayshore Freeway. Shit, it's coming this way. So I floor it, hit on the lights. We pull out through Whiskey Gulch, kind of Whiskey Gulch up to University Avenue. We're just sitting there, and our lights are on. We're just sitting there, and all of a sudden, I remember it was a Ford, really boxy looking Ford Chevy 2 or whatever it was. You couldn't miss this ugly, a Nova. You couldn't miss this ugly thing. Barrels right by us. Jeez, the guy did it. It's like out of the movies. You don't expect it to really happen. I mean, throw for a minute, and Hernandez goes, go, 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 go. So I floor it, and we prevent him from going onto the freeway because we're sitting there.
Yeah.
So what the guy does is he continues and he goes into the residential area of Palo Alto. We're barreling through a residential area, actually very upper scale homes. Off the University Avenue, chasing this guy, and this guy's getting away from us. One reason is people thought it was ethnic and it was racist because they thought I was DWC. They thought I was called Louie DWC, which means driving while Chinese. Yeah. And they said Louie can't drive. Well, I couldn't because the guy was just beating me on the curves. Hernandez is yelling at me. He wants to take the wheel. Yeah. But we can't do it. Then we catch up with it again. We can see it down a distance, and then some other cars come in, and finally the guy runs up into a lawn. And then we all jump out, and some other cars intercept it. We get the guy at gunpoint. He's a robber. It's the guy. Well, keep in mind, you got to be real careful about this one. And you might think officer safety. No. Just Tony, because all the officers, like 6 of us now, and Tony's pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. So we get behind the car, and the guy's there. They're dragging him out. And Ennis goes, if we got to pull them out, they're going to make us write the report. And I go, yeah, you're right. We've had our fun. I guess you're right. So I got the gun, they take the guy in the car, we go back. Well, so I go back, and I see one foot sticking up without a shoe, no shoelaces because it's in his property bag. He just got released from jail for us. And I see another foot sticking up with a funny looking boot with no shoelaces, but they're sticking straight up in the back seat of the car. And I go, oh crap. I mean, I skidded and I hit a curb. I didn't hit anybody. So we open it up, and the drunk's neck is this guy. Keep in mind, this guy was picked up a couple hours earlier, so he's still drunk. He's sticking straight up. His feet are sticking straight up. And the guy's yelling, help me, help me. He's handcuffed, he's screaming, his legs are sticking straight up in the air. And Tony and I forgot we had a prisoner in the back, and they're chasing us. It gets around, we make a big deal out of it, laugh, and then we took the guy into the jail. And the only thing you notice, he had a pretty bruised ear. And we had to tell the guys, we didn't beat them. It looked like we slapped them around. And you can see, the back of a police car is pretty dirty.
Yeah.
We clean it out for evidence, but basically you have a lot of gravel. For some reason, the guy even had embedded gravel in his ear, and he looked pretty messed up. Excuse me. When we did book him in at North County Jail, I told him, now we're late, and dinner's over. This guy'd been in jail so many times, he knew he was going to miss dinner. So I told him, I promise him when I book you in, I'll get you meals. So I even told the booking staff, listen, this guy's been really a good guy, and of course we were worried he was going to report us.
Yeah.
So please make sure he gets a dinner. Come on, guys, you got to do it for us. And the jail was real cool. We always went to jail almost every day to eat.
Oh.
In North County Jail, you could go in and have fresh apple pie.
Yeah.
You could have the dinners there. Oh, North was a great place to go. And we used to do it all the time. So we were really close to the booking deputies. Make a long story short, the guy never snitched us off, but it got around to one of my sergeant. So he sent a memo back saying there will be no pursuits if you have a prisoner in your car. You were forbidden to pursue. So there was another Louie memo. My name wasn't mentioned, but the whole department knew it was me driving. I couldn't drive with the dam.
Yeah.
So the inspector of racism came up with DWC again. But the other thing that came up is I could have really hurt the prisoner. But again, all he had was just embedded some gravel. So never knew what happened to the guy, but he was really cool. He never snitched me off, and I made sure he had a dinner when he got in there, chip beef, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So that was my don't pursue with a prisoner in the back without the seatbelt on.